Hello there, good evening. Welcome to News Tonight here on GHOne Television. We are live from our studios here at the Platinum Place, North Ridge. Also live on Facebook, on X and on YouTube at GHOne TV. Now here's what to expect in the next 60 minutes. Jubilation in Amenfi Central Constituency, Second D High Court lifts interlocutory injunction against NDC parliamentary candidate GHOne.
Now that the injunction has been vacated, Mensah should do the right thing.
Also in the bulletin, Supreme Court to give judgment on the vacancy saga tomorrow, despite absence of Speaker Alban Bagman's lawyers in court today. We shall tell you more. Meanwhile, opposition leader John Dramani Mahama says current impasse in Parliament could have been resolved without resorting to legal tussle.
My friend minority, my friend majority, and our leaders of party. Now, you name one majority, name minority, be also a majority.
And in business this evening, National Cocoa Farmers Association described recent producer price increment as a political gimmick. We've got details of these and more coming up shortly. Stay with us. It is 26 days to the December 7 general elections. Grateful for your company this evening. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Let's now start with Insight for tonight. Now, some residents in the Amenfi Central constituency are in a jubilant mood after news that the Second D High Court has lifted the injunction against the NDC parliamentary candidate GHOne reached them. Now, the opposition NDC filed a new writ at the Second D High Court after the EC refused to recognize GHOne as the duly elected NDC candidate for the December elections. Now, the commercial division of the Second D High Court, presided over by Justice Kodjo, lifted the interlocutory injunction placed on the candidate, thereby clearing her to contest the elections in December.
Some residents of Amenfi Central constituency jubilating after hearing of the decision of the Second D High Court to lift the injunction against Kodjo, the opposition NDC's parliamentary candidates. The Electoral Commission had previously disqualified Kodjo, the NDC candidate for Amenfi Central, from the 2024 parliamentary elections. This action followed an order for interlocutory injunction issued by the Second D High Court on May 31, 2024, in the case of Jedu Frimpong and 4 others against Kodjo, the NDC and the Electoral Commission. The order restrained Kodjo from presenting herself as the duly elected NDC parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central until a final determination of the case. It prohibited the NDC and the Electoral Commission from recognizing her as the candidate or affording her any associated rights or privileges. However, in a ruling on Monday, 11th November 2024, Justice Kodjo vacated the injunction, instructing the Electoral Commission to include Kodjo in the Amenfi Central elections. This is welcome news to the lawyer of the NDC parliamentary candidates.
We are very pleased and we want to thank the courts. I will say more. The Electoral Commission rep is in court. He's aware the court has vacated the injunction. The basis on which they disqualify GHOne is based on the injunction order. Now that the injunction has been vacated, Mensah should do the right thing. I will say no more.
GHOne, elated after the court proceedings, expressed relief that the albatross has been removed. She urged her supporters to intensify their campaign efforts to secure a victory on December 7.
The only one I did was the one for contest and God will have people long. And now they are in the next and the way they fight for me. I'm coming home and we are going to do our campaign. After the campaign, they are going to have a so I know that people are waiting for me and they are happy. So I want to tell them that they should just go and find something to eat and drink and be happy and thank God, and we have to go to church.
So that's a jubilant mood there in Amenfi Central. But let's speak to the Western Regional Communications Officer of the NDC, Mensah. He's joined us on phone for a conversation on this. Kek, thank you so much for joining us. So clearly, this is some good news for GHOne as well as the party in the area. But how has the injunction affected your campaign in the Amenfi Central constituency?
Thank you for your cherished viewers. What I would say is that it is very solid on the grounds of Amenfi Central. Even before the court vacated them, we have been there a couple of times. Personally, as a communication officer, we had some community engagement in about 5 or 6 community. The message is clear: no plan and no vote. The people have stated previously the parliamentary candidates, members of parliament in the past, but the effectiveness and the law Jan Kodjo has shown people last 1 year when she was elected has rejuvenated the grassroots of the party to work hard to make sure we maintain the seat. So even before this injunction was vacated, I was very convinced, based on what I experienced in that constituency, that GHOne Kodjo is the only one who can win for the NDC. We were optimistic because we don't know what the proceedings were. And my prayer has been that GHOne Kodjo is the candidate. I'm a grassroots officer. I go to the grounds and I talk from the grounds. And the message from the grassroots is so simple. No GHOne, no vote. And I'm happy that the lawyer for the National Democratic Congress, lawyer Edith Tamaklo's application, the motion to vacate the interrogatory injunction on GHOne Kodjo to be vacated has been granted.
Interesting, Kirk, but during the period where the injunction was in place, were you still campaigning in the area? And how was the campaign going around then?
The lady cannot campaign, couldn't have campaigned, but we were still campaigning. We were campaigning that no matter...
GHOne was not campaigning, the party was still campaigning.
What do you mean?
I'm asking that even though GHOne was not campaigning because of the injunction, the party was still campaigning.
GHOne was not campaigning.
Right.
You know that GHOne was at the time given a particular portfolio to be the presidential candidate campaign manager for that constituency. Even that, it was limited. But the constituency need to work. The branch executive need to work. The constituency executive need to work. And the regional executives need to work. And as regional communication officer, I took it upon myself to go there to make sure I campaign. No matter the outcome of the case, I would never have known the outcome of this.
Right.
So, no matter the case, wherever it goes, there will be a candidate for NDC. There will be somebody the NDC wants to represent. But the message is that NDC is supreme than any individual.
Okay.
NDC supreme that any group of respected proceedings.
Okay.
And now the party has decided that the court accepts that our candidate, Joanna Kodjo, is the sole candidate that we are representing in Amenfi Central.
Okay.
And no other candidate. We don't know any candidate.
Okay.
Apart from Joanna Kodjo.
So, Kirk, talk to me now
our
about...
candidate in 24 election.
Right. So, talk to me now about what happens after today.
After today, there will be a serious effort from national, region, and the constituency to make sure we go to every corner of the constituency. But the good news is that Joanna Kodjo in the last 1 year has impacted lives of the people of Amenfi Central.
Okay.
So wherever you go, even before you speak, they will tell you that they want to vote for Joanna Kodjo.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal. We will continue to work, consolidate again, maximize the vote of John Dramani Mahama, and make sure that seat safe, securely safe for NDC.
Very well. Kirk, thank you so much. That's Kirk Mensah. He is Western Regional Communications Officer of the NDC. But still sticking with legal matters in the field of politics, the Supreme Court has fixed Tuesday, November 12, 2024, to deliver its judgment in the case filed by Alexander Penyomarkin, challenging the Speaker of Parliament's decision to declare 4 seats vacant on October 17. Now, the panel of 7, presided over by the Chief Justice herself, Gertrude Saba Tokuno, fixed the date after hearing oral submissions from lawyers of the plaintiff and the Attorney General. Now, with lawyers of the Speaker of Parliament absent and directive for them to file statement of case not complied with, the court said the panel will deal with the matter on Tuesday. EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa has the rest of the story.
On Tuesday, November 12, 2024, the Supreme Court will deliver its judgment in the writ filed by Alexander Penyomarkin seeking an interpretation of Article 97 and its provisions in relation to the decision taken by the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Bagbin, to declare some 4 seats vacant because those parliamentarians have decided to go as independent candidates in the next parliament. This has led to that particular matter come to the Supreme Court, and when the matter was called, lawyers of the plaintiff, led by Honorable Joe Gatti, moved an argument submitted to the Supreme Court and argue why that particular decision taken by the Speaker should be reversed, taking into considerations provisions in the 1992 Constitution. The Attorney General also submitted to the Supreme Court that, look, if you look at the Constitution as it is erroneous for the Speaker of Parliament to come to that determination, and that decision ought to be reversed. What is interesting is that today's sitting happened without the lawyers of the Speaker of Parliament. Also, the court notes that they did not file any statement of case and any memorandum of issues as directed by the Supreme Court earlier. What it means is that the Supreme Court will be taking decision without the input of the Speaker and his lawyers. Honorable Alexander Penyomarkin, who is the plaintiff in this matter, says their doors are open for collaboration and for negotiations.
The Council of State reached out to me again that they have spoken to Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker concedes that he has not made a ruling and that the NDC will move to their own seat. He gave them the assurance. Council of State communicated that to us. We said, okay, if in all of these Mr. Speaker decides to resign, what should I do? I should go and sit on the minority seat? Spiritually, it's not even good. You have 3 weeks to election. I should go and sit on minorities. Is that my seat? I won't dare sit there.
All is set for the Supreme Court to put finality to this whole controversy. Tuesday, November 12th, the panel of 7 will deliver its judgment and put finality to the matter to decide the fate of the 4 members of Parliament. From the Supreme Court here in Accra, Mutala Inusa, GHOne.
So quite clearly, hopefully tomorrow would have the Supreme Court now lay the matters to rest, and then we can know exactly who is majority and who is minority in Parliament. Well, away from that, presidential candidate of the largest opposition NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has once again weighed in on the recent parliamentary disputes, stating that the issues could have been resolved with dialogue instead of resorting to legal action. Now, addressing clergymen during a second series of his worship service in the Ashanti region, the former president noted that collaboration between majority and minority leaders would lead to more effective and amicable outcomes. GHOne News' Abdul Hanan Adam reports.
Well, as the country gears up for the 2024 elections, a period that is expected to be highly charged, the main opposition leader of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has emphasized the critical role that religious leaders play in ensuring a peaceful and fair elections. During a worship service in the Ashanti region, Mahama urged the clergy to continue advocating for peace and unity throughout the electoral process.
Yetia yeye efisɛ Mensah ɛwɔ yɛ so sɛ Ghana yehu amanihu sɛ amani bia ɛbɛnyɛ a ɔmotwa yɛ ho ahyia amani bebree ntɔkwa esi amanipa hwere ɔmo nkwa ɛnso Mensah ɛda Ghana so nti ɛne mɔmpa ɛbɔ dendenden a ɛyɛ amobɔ ɛma yɛman no ama yɛman no ɛda so ɛwɔ asomdwe nti ɛnkɔso mbɔ mpa yɛ sɛ nyame ɛnkɔso ɛma asomdwe ɛntena yɛman.
The former president, who is once again seeking a return to the presidency, then criticized the current government economic management, positioning himself as a leader capable of restoring confidence in the nation.
Eto de bia entokwa no yɛ de ha yɛkɔfa sojafo a ɔmo retirement ɛsan ba sɛ ɔmo bɛboa ɔkono. In times of crisis, sometimes retired generals are brought back to come and lead the battle. Enti mo fa me sɛ me yɛsa general ni bia na ma retire enne ɔkono ayɛ den a yakɔfa me asan ba sɛ me bɛboa ɔkono na ekunimde enye yɛdea.
But addressing the ongoing friction between the judiciary and the legislative arms of government over the declaration of 4 parliamentary seats vacant, Mahama asserted that the issue should have been resolved without involving the courts.
We can solve it politically. The solution is not legal. If we say Supreme Court did me a decision, now Parliament also I can say yes, so a separate arm of government. In the way and keeping here say a political solution. Na nina jina opinion for any opinion some media madri sanka me opinion. Remember I case in Supreme Court. No, my friend minority, my friend majority, and our leaders of party. Now, one majority, and minority, a majority. Any as of opinion, Council of States, any Speaker of Parliament, I can say. No, did say almost nasia, ombenya solution to a semi coso.
Well, now an independent parliamentary candidate for New Durban North in the Eastern region has pledged a unique initiative aimed at reducing stigma around marrying persons with disabilities. Emmanuel Ofosiyeboah, an award-winning international athlete and disability rights advocate, announced plans to offer rent-free accommodation for able-bodied individuals who marry persons with disability. There is more in the following report.
During a debate organised by the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, in New Durban North, independent parliamentary candidate Emmanuel Ofosiyeboah shared his vision to combat societal stigmas and empower persons with disabilities. Yeboah proposed rent-free housing for able-bodied individuals who marry persons with disabilities, aiming to reduce prejudice and promote inclusivity in marriage and society. He also highlighted initiatives for youth employment and agricultural development in the constituency.
election with Mahama was new German of everything.
Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress candidate Samuel Adongo outlined plans to collaborate with the Ghana Prison Service involving inmates in commercial farming and saving earnings in personal bank accounts to serve as startup capital after release. He also pledged to use part of his MP salary to support persons with disabilities and promised improvements in roads, jobs and other areas.
We will get a president to be in the farms, we will help them open an account, we get a bank to come and open an account for them, we get them to work in the farm, then we'll be marking them daily. Anytime that you go to work in the farm, we will be marking you and we'll be putting that money into your account. And also use some of the money, not the one that have been paid into the account, but some of the posts that we'll be saving from the job that they'll be doing to also build the prison, turn it and make it a more conducive place for them. They are human beings, they are not animals.
Participants expressed disappointment over the absence of the New Patriotic Party's candidate, who did not attend the debate. The event provided a platform for candidates to present policies on youth employment, security, health and education. New Drabin North NCCE Director Ebenezer Achampong remarked that the debate achieved its goal of fostering dialogue and informing voters.
We saw persons with disabilities also getting the opportunity to ask questions. And these are very great initiatives with the NCCE as part of our mandate. When you read Chapter 19 of the Constitution and the 1993 Act 452 gives us the mandate to ensure that we bring together some of these stakeholders for them to get first-hand information from their constituents and be able to sell their message to the...
Now, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the governing NPP, Bernard Ntwi-Boesiako, has accused the opposition NDC flag bearer John Mahama of paying some members of the party to contest as independent candidates. The move, according to him, is to ensure the votes of the governing NPP in those constituencies reduce. Now, addressing party supporters at Bekwai in the Ashanti region, Chairman Wontumi, as he's popularly called, describes such candidates as liars who must be shunned.
Papa B, asori wo kromu ha say. Na papa no, otimidi the picture no the MPP colors, no the aye posters. No aye no say. Owo MPP. Abua sa papa yi mi wo mi fie ana woni kwabre nyame omo ba mi fie oba wo de snap ni sika ana o de bra mi say sa bra na ewura GHOne wo ho no yemfa o bra mi sika o bra mi bribe se menye ni entu GHOne ana bibu sa ne say papa yi sa wutu GHOne sa a dear pan of Media Bramansia. GHOne, were your right honorable first deputy speaker of parliament. Eti Dabi Jai Nebra Betty GHOne Sechi Mekayana Wantie and Wako independent. I yet 2020 no Papa no Abura or ye our constituency way Mr. Mumutie. Obibia oko independent. I was Antimi Piano. I John Mahama. Woman 7 say. Woman was a barrier winning one touch. It is John Mahama no Mababesia say. Say a vote to no sobatinti. Anna John Mahama mo musika. It's Mushamwa. Omuni and this 4 candidates for no and Omuya meeting. Omuni and this for no and Omuya meeting. Na mesemutie mo ka chani say the governor of Ashanti, I mean Bekwai, the governor of Ashanti, I mean Ashanti. Na me ka chani say ba we say yeto no timinya 2% kura no a osreme.
Now, head of the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, has underscored the critical role stakeholders like the Electoral Commission and political parties play in maintaining harmony during elections. Speaking during the press launch of a peace walk dubbed the 7th March, Professor Jampo implored these entities to act with integrity and commitment to fairness as Ghanaians prepare to cast their ballots.
The 7th March Free and Fair Election March which will be held on the 23rd November 2024 at the Independence Square, aims to bring citizens from all walks of life and the political divide to walk 7 times around the arc for peace. At the press launch, head of the Political Science Department at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, urged the political parties and the elections management body to prioritize peace and the interests of Ghana.
I expect the political actors and the political elites to be peaceful and to be conciliatory in the way and manner they are going about their campaign. Fortunately and thankfully, so far it's been so good. They have not played on the emotional keyboards of people. They are not insulting themselves. I urge them to keep it up and to sound peaceful in their campaign activities. They should also call on their support base to be peaceful.
Nene Omanye Amwako Ofoyata is the convener of the 7th March Free and Fair Election March.
When we have peace, then we can have growth. When we have peace, we can have development. When we have peace, then we have created a climate for there to be continuity. Okay, so don't sit home and expect some few of us to be part of this. Okay, we are all Ghanaians, we are one people, we love this country. Let's do this cheerfully, let's do this collectively, and we believe that peace will prevail, and we should be able to go about our daily activities of businesses.
As the countdown to the elections continues, the walk emphasizes the importance of national unity in ensuring a peaceful election season, urging the nation to choose dialogue over discord.
Well, and that's how we draw the curtains on Election Hub this evening on News Tonight. Stay with us, we've got more for you. Of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has announced that starting December 1 this year, kidney dialysis will be provided free of charge to all patients under the National Health Insurance Scheme. He stated that this decision follows a successful pilot program that offered free dialysis to patients aged 60 and above, as well as those under the age of 18. Now, Dr. Bawumia shared this news while campaigning in the Swamek constituency yesterday. This announcement comes after a report by GHOne News' Araba Edu in March, highlighting the struggles of families with children in need of dialysis treatment due to high costs.
Kidney dialysis. So, yaba no, ene ampa ngofo bebre nya kidney problems. Into here dialysis. Dialysis no so sikano doso. Nipa bebre intimi entry as sikano. 6 months ago, ye started pilot. Say the dialysis no beba National Health Insurance. So nipa na umuye over 60, any under 18 for the last 6 months. Umuji dialysis under National Health Insurance free. The pilot no eba every year from December 1st this year. From December 1st, all kidney dialysis patients umubeji under National Health Insurance free.
Expounding on the initiative, NHIS Chief Executive Officer Dr. Da Costa Boaje explained that more dialysis machines are being procured to support the policy and facilitate kidney transplants.
Once we know the real cost, there could be public sensitization for us to know how we're going to address it. We just have to exercise patience. We have to work with the teaching hospitals to make sure that the money is actually going to people who actually need. We know that the money is inadequate. Like I said, it's just an initial emergency fund to support people going through dialysis, especially the needy whilst we await the committee's report on the actual cost and its impact on our funding, so that we can now lay it bare to Parliament.
Additionally, he highlighted the role of free medical checkups and wellness clinics in alleviating the growing burden of chronic illnesses such as chronic renal failure and other non-communicable diseases by promoting prevention. The NHIS is also actively encouraging healthy lifestyles as well as early detection and treatment of hypertension and diabetes, which are primary causes of chronic renal disease. Furthermore, the government is working to enact a law governing tissue and organ donation, storage and transplantation to support kidney and other organ transplants in the country. The policy is complete and currently undergoing stakeholder consultations in preparation for cabinet and parliamentary approval, with the aim of passing the law in the next session of Parliament. In March 2024, shortly after GHOne TV aired Evelyn Araba-Edu's report, Dialysis Dilemma, the Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Nsiasari, assured the public that the government is prioritizing legislation on organ and tissue donation by the close of Parliament this year. This move, alongside an actuarial analysis to include dialysis under the NHIS, aims to support kidney transplants nationwide.
The high cost of dialysis has led to the premature death of many people who could not afford it. 2, high cost of kidney transplant and legislature, which I've mentioned already. Although kidney transplantation is preferred treatment, it is costly and out of the reach of most of patients. Regardless, it is critical to enact laws to make kidney treatment more accessible to individuals.
On 1st June 2024, government announced a free 6 months dialysis support program for renal patients from June to December 2024. This is to support high-risk populations of renal patients under the age of 18 years and those over 60 years by offering 8 free dialysis sessions monthly while absorbing 2 sessions of those between the ages of 18 to 59 years. Evelyn Araba-Edu, reporting for GHOne News.
Well, environmental advocacy organization The Environment Report is urging the general public to hold politicians to account on how they intend to protect the environment. It follows recent devastation caused by illegal mining as well as mass deforestation to pave way for real estate development. Now, the group, having perused the manifestos of political parties, including the NDC and the MPP, say no clear plans are outlined to safeguard the environment. Charles Smith is project coordinator at the Environment Report, and he's joined me for a conversation on this development. Charles, thank you so much for joining us. So really, what difference will this make? You are calling on the citizens to hold politicians to account on their plans for the environment. We've seen what has happened in terms of illegal mining and deforestation. What difference will this one make?
Okay, thank you very much. So exactly what we are asking for, we are asking them to use their platform to talk about what it is to address the issues that we are facing or confronting us as a people as far as our environment and climate is concerned. Now, we know that the political parties are using their platform to champion their flagship programs or projects or policies. So all that we are asking for is that, yes, indeed, in their manifesto, they have a number of things specified in there to do as far as protecting the environment and climate change is concerned. But we want them to use their platform to highlight or talk about it. So going to the board, we realize, and interacting with the board, the farmers and tell us that when they come to them, it's not about climate, it's not about the environment, it's about what they are doing, but it's about what they will do for them. And we are saying that that is not enough because they need to show commitment to the things that they have written in their manifesto. And it is the main reason why we are making this call as an NGO and as a protest.
You have gone through the documents, the manifestos of the two parties. What did you find out?
So one of the key things that was really surprising to us is that the LI 246 was passed in November 2020. And after its passage, a number of people have been talking about it, calling for the revocation or the repeal of the LI. Surprisingly, none of the manifestors of the two political parties or the two leading political parties said that they are going to repeal it. Now, they also talk about the things that they will do. For instance, the MPP talks about private financing, talks about making the EP an authority. The NDC also talks about, in terms of agriculture mechanization and technological advancement. But these things are written in the book. We want them to come out and talk about it. Again, when we look at our environment, issues of plastic pollution, they are silent on it. Dealing with mining in our forest reserve, they are silent on it. So, yes, they have stated these things, but enforcement is a challenge. There is no clear way of clear cut in terms of enforcing the law, the environmental law, make sure that we protect our environment and that they get a climate for terrorism.
Very well. Charles, thank you. Thank you so much. And I believe that going forward, we'll definitely also put these things in play and get some answers from the politicians on the environment. Well, away from that, as part of efforts to increase preparedness in the event of health emergencies, the World Health Organization is partnering with Médecins Sans Frontières to train health professionals on how to deal with them when they arise. The health professionals drawn from Ghana, Guinea, Malawi, DR Congo, Kenya, and Uganda will undergo a 5-day training on rapid response utilization, advanced health facility innovations. Calvin Powell was at the Ghana Forces Critical Care and Emergency Hospital where the training is taking place, and he's filed this report.
According to the World Health Organization, the African continent faces over 100 health emergencies annually. The simulation exercise by the WHO, UNICEF, and Médecins Sans Frontières is therefore to equip selected African countries with expert knowledge to combat unforeseen emergencies.
From COVID, but also from other public emergency crises like the Ebola outbreaks that happened in Western Africa a couple of years ago. It's very important for the country and for all countries to be prepared in case of emergencies and outbreaks of infectious diseases. So the purpose of this exercise is to test a new kind of hospital, a hospital that can be deployed very quickly.
Technical advisor to the Minister of Health, Dr. Dairos Ose, emphasized the simulation's importance, highlighting the far-reaching negative impacts of disease outbreaks on economies and the need for robust health systems to respond swiftly.
I commend the World Health Organization, UNICEF, Médecins Sans Frontières, the World Food Program, and other key partners for the progress made with Initiative 2 and health emergency facility projects, and for the delivery of such pertinent innovative products that will solve real-life problems. I am certain these infectious disease treatment models and health emergency facilities will be game changers in the management and response to outbreaks of dangerous pathogens.
Dr. Morikita, Technical Officer in charge of risk assessment in emergency preparedness and response at the WHO Africa Regional Office, attributed Ghana's selection to its structural viability in addressing such issues.
Ghana was chosen as the best place because we have WFP hub here, and we have opportunities, and we also know that Ghana is a very critical country in West Africa, and we know, for example, an Marburg outbreak occurred here, I think 1 or 2 years ago, and this is an opportunity to leverage on the capacity that has been already strengthened in place, and we also need to share this knowledge with other countries.
Approximately 100 participants from health authorities across Africa, including Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Guinea, are set to benefit from this exercise, enhancing their capacity to respond to public health emergencies.
You're still watching News Tonight here on GHOne Television with me, Joshua Kodjo Mensah. We'll go for a breather. We have more after that. Stay with us.
GHOne OV van has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. It runs a system where we are able to run on Dante to be able to do our broadcast mixed well also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Miss Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GHOne van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you, GHOne provides it.
My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the van has a very wide bench that can accommodate all my technical crew, ICCU, switcher, graphics, CG, and all of that. And then it also has a studio, a green room studio that comes with TriCaster. So if you want somebody to do commentary on a live event, you can put that presenter who's in that studio as well and get that running.
To give an experience to our audience, we're also watching on TVs and online. Work with an Exo technology system which makes your video mixing with Panasonic cameras, like a lot of other stuff in terms of content you need to get also for your live broadcasts.
I prefer the GHOne van to a lot of other vans I've used, or even doing my own setup on a tabletop setup, because on a production you see a number of people in the van, and so if you have a very small van, it means that it's going to be choked, and that will affect the creativity as well. The price has been discounted as well to accommodate varied budgets, and so no matter the budget you have, I understand you can have the truck and do business with it.
It looks huge but very affordable. Cost is really affordable. My experience with it, EMI Awards last year, super excellent. Try it, call them, and I'm going to give you the best of price. Really affordable.
Well, thank you so much for staying on with us. Let's now bring you business. The Ghana Cocoa Board has raised the producer price of cocoa from 48,000 per ton, which is equivalent to 3,000 cedis per 64 kilogram bag, to 49,600 cedis per ton, which is equivalent to 3,100 cedis per 64 kilogram bag. Now, the increase, which took effect on November 8, 2024, aims to support Ghanaian cocoa farmers with an improved income. Now, according to a statement from Cocoa Board, the price adjustment reflects the government's quest to ensure the livelihood and fair compensation also for cocoa farmers in the country. Now, according to that statement also, it is also to maintain their competitiveness in the global market. However, the National Cocoa Farmers Association has described the increase as a political strategy aimed at persuading farmers, especially in this election season. Well, now let's engage the president of the Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association, Stephen Anane Boateng. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. This is some good news for cocoa farmers, isn't it? Hello, Stephen? Well, okay, so we'll try and raise Stephen back on the phone lines. Yes, Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Fantastic. So this is some good news for cocoa farmers, isn't that the case?
This is not news. This is an insult, honestly. Why is that what Nana did is like to ask them. So,
Stephen, your line is very bad. If you could just reposition so that I can hear you clearly. You say this is an insult. Why is it an insult?
It's an insult because he knows very well that he can increase cocoa. Wait, on this time and he's adding 103,000 Ghana cedis. If the market price has increased today,
well, unfortunately,
he did not do anything else.
Right. Unfortunately, Stephen's connection is so terrible, and so we'll raise him later and have a conversation on this. But let's move to some other stories. Well, the Chief Executive Officer of Africa Makeup and Beauty Fair, Rebecca Donko, has emphasized the need of promoting African brands globally. Now, she believes this will open up job opportunities for Africans all around the world while uplifting and showcasing African brands. Abigail Osei has more in the following report.
At the 8th edition of the African Makeup and Beauty Fair, CEO Rebecca Donko emphasized this year's focus on boosting brand awareness and creating job opportunities in the beauty industry. She also highlighted the fair's goal of
This has also created a lot of jobs. People come here, come and see what we are doing and want to start their own business in this space. And each time we have the fair, you have people who get employed, because then the whole ecosystem, you have people who are doing the stage, the setup, you have the people who are helping the various exhibitors or the vendors. So you create jobs. You have the dancers, you have the hosts. So the period where you are doing the events, you create jobs for so many people. And in a way, you're also contributing to the economic growth of our beloved country.
Damo Aku, fund manager for the Skills Development Fund, also shared insights on building effective business models and strategies.
Have a business model that appeals to the people who they call their clients or customers. People are looking for things that promote wellness, and there's money to be made in this industry. There's something out there for them if they would look for innovation. Talk to their customers so they can get to see what they're really looking for, and then craft their business to support that.
On the beauty industry's impact in empowering younger generations, Jantuahima Nanajwa Nsabene Beyman I of Achim Abuakwa shared her thoughts.
This event is not just for cosmetics and so on, but it's something it's deeper than that. It's an industry that attracts young people, and you don't really have to have a very, very high education, but you can, be self-sufficient. You can do all these things without any high education.
Vendors at the fair also shared their experiences with the news team.
We are honored to be part of this unique program which happens yearly to also project the beauty industry.
Over the years we'll be doing this because it's a very big platform for the beauty industry. So whenever we get this opportunity, we capitalize on it to project the brand to the world as a whole, not only in Ghana.
With the focus on empowering African talent and celebrating innovation, this year's fair aims to set new trends and inspire growth within the continent's beauty industry.
Well, let's bring the latest in the world of sports now. This evening, 8 Black Stars players trained on day 1 at the Accra Sports Stadium ahead of the AFCON qualifiers. Ghana will take on Angola on Friday in Luanda before playing against Niger on Monday in the last game in the AFCON qualifiers. Benjamin Yamo of the Sports Desk watched the team train this evening and has filed this report.
Day 1 of the Black Stars training ahead of the crucial games against Angola this Friday in Luanda and against Niger on Monday here at Accra Sports Stadium. In the last 2 games in the qualifiers for the Nations Cup, even though Ghana is on the brink of not qualifying for the AFCON for the first time in over 20 good years. Players currently in camp are 8 on day 1 and are training currently, as you can see behind me, at the Accra Sports Stadium. Players currently in camp include Mohamed Kudus of West Ham fame, the Auxerre-based duo of GHOne Mensah and also Elisha Owusu, USA-based speedster or winger, if you like, Usman Bukhari are available, together with the local component of Isaac Afro of Samatex, Kodjo, Emmanuel Entry, and also HFC's Alex Simpson. These are the players together with Todo Wallo for the goalkeeper who are currently in camp preparing for the game against Angola on Friday and also against Niger this Monday. And the coaches for the side, led by Ottawa, currently, as you can see, taking the players to their paces ahead of the game. Now, speaking or interacting with the PR for the GFA, he indicates that by tomorrow, expecting the full squad to arrive in camp to train here at the stadium again before the team planes and leaves for Luanda on Wednesday for the game on Friday against Angola. According to him, most of the players who pulled out have been replaced by 6 new players led by Usman Bukhari, who's already in camp, alongside the likes of Terry Yegbe and the others like Kingsley Schindler and of course Ransford Yeboah Konostoifa. They will be in camp by tomorrow to train with the team here in Accra before the team planes and leaves for Luanda, that's Angola, on Wednesday for the crucial game against Angola. And Ghana will require to win all the 2 games outstanding and hope Sudan will not be able to win any of their games to have a chance of qualifying for the AFCON. Reporting for GH1 TV, Accra Sports Stadium, Benjamin Yamwa.
Well, on that sports note, we draw the curtains on News Tonight here on GH1 Television. This morning is for you at starfm.com.gh. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah, and we have a lovely evening.